A sales function for Xbox One is given for the last year of p of x equals negative 125 over 9x squared plus 500 over 3x, with x in months from 0 to 12. P of x is in thousands, meaning the y-axis is in thousands, not hundreds. This model started in the month of July when the unit was introduced. In what month was the maximum sales? What were the maximum number of units sold? When it ever asks you for maximum sales or maximum number of units, it's asking you for the vertex. I'm going to take that, I'm going to do negative b over 2a, and I'm going to find the vertex. Negative b value, 500 over 3 over 2 times the a value, which is negative 125 over 9. Your choices here are to do the fractional math or plug it in on your calculator, which I've already done. And I got 6. In what month are the maximum sales? If this starts in July and I'm 6 months out, July, August, September, October, November, December, December has the max sales. What is the maximum number of units sold in a month? This is when the max units is what I would get if I take the 6 and I plug it in. So I'm going to go negative 125 over 9, 6 squared, plus 500 over 3 times 6, which I've also already done on my calculator, negative 125 over 9, 6 squared, plus 500 over 3 times 6, and I got 500 in thousands. Maximum number of units, 500,000 units. Graph the function on your graphing utility. Choose an appropriate viewing window. So I have taken the function and I have put it on my calculator, negative 125x over 9x squared plus 500 over 3x, and I'm going to choose a window. Okay? Window goes from 0 to 12 because this function goes from 0 to 12. My x max 0, my x min 0, my x max 12. I'm going to send my y from 0 to 550. I could go from 0 to 500. I'm going to go to 550 because I want to see just a little bit more over the graph. That window, I hit the window key and I plug those in. When I hit my graph key, I should get a good picture of it. And you can see here's month 0, July. That would be December. And that would be back down here at June. So it asks what happens in the 12th month. I'm going to put sales back to 0. Let's list the following. The vertex, 6, 500. I could put 6, 500,000. I'm going to leave it at 6, 500. That's the scale on my calculator. Domain starts here, ends here for this function. I'm going to go from 0 to 12, inclusive of 12. Range, lowest sales are 0. I'm not going to go below 0 sales. Highest sales, well, I could put again 0 to 500, or I could put 0 to 500,000. I'm going to leave it 500. And the axis of symmetry is what cuts it right down in half, which would be at x equals 6. Okay, list the months in which the sales were increasing. Well, I can look at my graph, and it's increasing from there to there. This started in July and 6 months. So July, August, September, October, November, and December. List the months and the sales were decreasing, decreasing the other months. January, February, March, April, May, June. And you can again see that on the graph. From July to December increasing, from January through June decreasing. And now for the hard part. We're going to use the space below to turn this into vertex form by completing the square. So I have p of x, negative 125 over 9x squared plus 500 over 3x. I'm going to factor that out of both. negative 125 over 9, and I have x squared. And what I have to do is I have to factor out 125 over 9 out of 500 over 3. And factoring is really division. So I can go to my calculator and I can divide that by that. So I'm going to go 500 over 3, and I'll divide that by negative 125 over 9. And what I get out of that is I get 12, and I get negative 12. So I'm going to put negative 12x here. And I'm still doing the completing the square. Half of 12 is 6. 6 squared is 36. I really just tacked on those two multiplied by each other. If you multiply that by that on your calculator, you're going to get negative 500. So I'm going to tack on positive 500. Negative 125 over 9 x. Factors of 36 that are negative 12 are negative 6 and negative 6. And I get all the way down to the vertex form of negative 125 over 9 x minus 6 squared plus 500. The last thing I want you to do is I want to make sure that is back into y1, and I want you to plug this right here into y2, and that graph should be right over the top of that graph, proving that you did it correctly.